ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मृतं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to our Iskcon Bulla YouTube channel. Today I am going to discuss 18th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, in which there are prayers by residents of Jambudvipa. We have described the prayer of Lord Shiva in Ilavrita Varsa in the last chapter, chapter 17. So now we hear about the rest 8 verses. So, 1 to 5, these 5 verses describe prayer to High Sirsa in Bhadrasa Varsa. Bhadrasa Varsa means it is in east of Ilavrita Varsa. Sorry. The predominating ruler of Bhadrasa Varsa is Bhadrasava. He and his many servants always worship the incarnations known as Lord Hayagriva. So in verse 3, it stated how the prayer, I am quoting one prayer. Aho vichitram bhagavad vichestidam bhrantang janoyam misanna pasyati dhayana sajjari vikarma sevitum niratya putram pitaram jivisati. Sorry. So alas, how wonderful it is that the foolish materialist doesn't heed the great danger of impending death. He knows that death will surely come, yet he is nevertheless callous and neglectful. If his father dies, he wants to enjoy his father's property, and if his son dies, he wants to enjoy his son's possession as well. In either case, he heedlessly tries to enjoy material happiness with the acquired money. You see, Bhadrasa verses. So, Shiva Siddhar Swami says, I am Jano, Misanapi, Pasanapi, Gnantam na pasyati. Misanapi na pasyati. Even if they see, they don't see the death of others. He heedlessly na alochayati. Na pasyati means na alochayati. He doesn't discuss about it. It's iti bhagavad vichestitam eva tacha vichitram. By the arrangement of the Lord. So this is wonderful. So at the end of each kalpa, when the demon Ajnana steals the Vedic knowledge, Lord Hayagriva appears and preserves it. Then he delivers it to Lord Brahma. So this is about Bhadrasa Varsa. So in Hari Varsa, which is south of Ilavrita Varsa, 7 to 14, these 8 verses describe Hari Varsa. The exalted devotee Prahlada Maharaj is there, who worships Lord Nrsingadeva. The appearance of Lord Nrsingadeva is described in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. We will hear it, 7th canto. Following in the footsteps of Prahlad Maharaj, the inhabitants of Hari Varsa always worship Lord Nrsingadeva to receive from him the benediction of being engaged in his loving service. They are chief. Sorry, is Prahlad. So, I will cite 2 verses. In verse 9 it says, Swastyostu Vishwa Shakhala Prasidatam Dhayant Bhutani Sivam Mithodhya Manasa Bhadrang Bhajatat Vadokyaje Avishadangno Matirapi Haitiki. You see, Prahlad Maharaj's prayer. May there be good fortune throughout the universe, and may all envious persons be pacified. May all living entities become calm by practicing Bhakti Yoga, for by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of the Supreme Transcendence, Lord Sri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thought of Him. The purport of Prabhupada Maharaj says, Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Dharma are meant for persons who are completely free of envy, Paramanirmat Saranam. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj prays in this verse, Khala Prasidatam, may all the envious persons be pacified. The material world is full of envious persons, But if one frees himself of envy, he becomes liberal in his social dealings and can think of others' welfare. Anyone who takes up Krishna consciousness and engages himself completely in the service of the Lord cleanses his mind of all envy. Manasya Bhadram Bhajata Tadukyaji. And in another prayer, Prahlad Maharaj says, Jasya asti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarvei gunai tatra samasati suraha harava bhaktasya kuto mahadgunaha manorathana sati dhavad vahi. All the demigods and their exalted qualities such as religion, knowledge and renunciation become manifest in the body of one who has developed unalloyed devotion for the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva. On the other hand, a person devoid of devotional service and engaged in material activities has no good qualities. Even if he is adept at the practice of mystic yoga or the honest endeavor of mountaineering, maintaining his family and relatives, he must be driven by his own mental speculations and must engage in the service of the Lord's external energy. How can there be any good qualities in such a man? Sorry. Srila Prabhupada Maharaj says in the purport, these are all original qualities of Krishna, and when one becomes a devotee, they automatically become manifest. Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, says that all good qualities become manifest in the body of a Vaishnava, and that only by the presence of these good qualities can one distinguish a Vaishnava from a non-Vaishnava. 26 qualities he enumerates. We'll hear it in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, in 15 to 23, these 9 verses describe prayers in Kittamala Varsa. Kittamala Varsa is in the west of this 11th Varsa. In the tract of land known as Kittamala Varsa, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Hrishikesha, appears in the form of Cupid, Madana. The goddess of fortune and the demigods living there engage in his service, and day and night, Lakshmi Devi worships this Cupid, and the demigod living there, manifesting himself in 16 parts. Lord Hrishikesha is the source of all encouragement, strength and influence. The conditioned living entity has the defect of being always fearful, but simply by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he can rid himself of this defect of material life. Therefore, the Lord alone can be addressed as Master. Who else can be Prabhu? So, in 24 to 28, these 5 verses describe prayers in Ramyak Varsa. This is north to 11th Varsa. In the tract of land known as Ramyak Varsa, Manu and all the inhabitants worship Matsya Deva to this very day. Manu is worshipping Matsya Deva. Why? Because Matsya, the Lord in the form of Matsya, delivered this Manu. He was Satyavrata in 6th Manu's time. So now he came as Lord delivered him. So he is now Manu. He is the son of Vivasan. His name is Vaivasat Manu. We are in his, during his time, we are now, his time is going on. Each Manu's time is 71 yugas. So we are now in 28th Kali. Nearly 5,000 years passed. Another 4,27,000 years exist. So Matsyadev, whose form is pure goodness, is the ruler and maintainer of the whole universe, and as such is the director of all the demigods headed by King Indra. We can hear it in also in 8th canto, 24th chapter. Sukadeva Goswami describes about this Matsyadeva. So 29 to 33, these 5 verses describe in Hiranmaya Varsa. Hiranmaya Varsa is also in the north of 11th Varsa. There Lord Vishnu has assumed the form of a tortoise, Kurma Murti, and is worshipped there by Arjama along with all the other residents. Arjama is the chief of Pitrunam, Arjama Chasmi. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita by the Lord. So Arjama is worshipping this tortoise form. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam also we will hear this appearance of Lord Tortoise during in 8th canto, 5 to 12, these 8 chapters, during churning of milk ocean. And also Sutta Goswami, while concluding the Srimad Bhagavatam in Srimad Bhagavatam, 12th canto, 13th chapter, second verse, Sutta Goswami prays this kurma. We'll hear it. We have already heard. We have already described it. So in 34 to 39, these 6 verses describes Uttara Kuru. This is the north, last north, northernmost region of Ilavrita. That is called Uttar Kuru. There, Uttar Kuru Varsa, Lord Sri Hari has assumed the form of a boar, and in that form he accepts service from all the inhabitants living there. Boar, that is hog, boar. All the information in this chapter can be fully realized by one who associates with devotees of the Lord. Therefore, in the Shastra, it is recommended that one associates with devotees. This is better than residing on the banks of Ganges. In the hearts of pure devotees reside all good sentiments as well as all the superior qualities of the demigods. In the hearts of non-devotees, however, there cannot be any good qualities, for such people are simply enchanted by the external illusory energy of the Lord. Following in the footsteps of devotees, one should know that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the only worshipable deity. Everyone should accept this proposal and worship the Lord. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 15:15, Vedeshta Sarvei Rahameva Vedyo. The purpose of studying all Vedic literatures is to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. If after studying all the Vedic literatures one doesn't awaken his dormant love for the Supreme Lord, it is to be understood that he has labored for nothing. He has simply wasted his time. Lacking attachment for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he remains attached to family life in this material world. Thus, the lesson of this chapter is that one should get out of family life and completely take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. So, thank you very much for listening to this lecture. And please don't forget to subscribe, share, and like our channel and get the blessings of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna